In this video, we're going to talk about how to divide polynomials. So we actually divide polynomials the same way we divide regular numbers. Before we set it up, just to talk about division a little bit, this is called the dividend, and this is called the divisor. The way we set it up, we have our long division bar, and our dividend will go inside the bar. And our divisor will go outside. So I like to make a checklist of things that I need to do to complete the problem. So first I need to divide, then I need to multiply, then subtract, and then bring down. All right, so let's start it off. How many times does x go into 8x to the third? In other words, x times what gives me 8x to the third? Well, that number is 8x squared. So I'm going to write 8x squared. By the way, also the result that you get when you divide something is called the quotient. So the quotient of negative x squared divided by x is 8x squared. So now that I get my 8x squared, I'm going to multiply. So I did my division, now I'm going to multiply. I'm going to multiply what I just got, 8x squared, by my divisor, the whole divisor. So it's going to look something like this. Notice we have to distribute here. We have to use the distributive property. So when we do that, I have x times 8x squared. That's going to get me 8x to the third. I have 8x squared times negative 1. I get negative 8x squared. All right. Now what I need to do, I did my multiplication. Now I need to subtract. So I don't like subtraction, so what I like to do is I like to just change from subtraction to addition, and then change the signs of everything else. That works. We can always do that, because it's almost like we're just distributing a negative to our other terms. Just like that. So it's going to be 8x to the third minus 8x to the third. I'm sorry, 8x to the third plus negative 8x to the third. It is the same thing, but it is 0. Now I have negative 10x squared plus 8x squared, so I'm going to get negative 2x squared. All right, so now I did my subtraction. Now I need to bring down the minus x. So I'm going to restart the process and do it again. So I have x is going to go into the negative 2x squared. How many times does x go into negative 2x squared? Or x times what gives me negative 2x squared? Well, that number is negative 2x. Negative 2x times x is going to be negative 2x squared. So I'm going to write my negative 2x up here. I'm going to multiply. I did my division. I'm going to now multiply. Same situation as we did over here. I have to distribute the negative 2x to the x. So negative 2x times x is negative 2x squared. Negative 1 times negative 2x equals 2x. All right. Make sure when we do this that we line up the columns correctly. The x to the third terms needs to go underneath the x to the third terms. The x squared terms need to go underneath the x squared terms. The x terms need to go under the x terms, and the constant terms need to go under the constant terms. This is very important, so we keep everything organized and don't mess up. All right, so I have to do my subtraction now. Once again, this is kind of ugly. Negative minus negative, I don't like to do that. So I'm going to change my negative, my subtraction sign, into a plus sign. And I'm just going to change all of my signs inside. So when I do my addition now, I get negative 2x squared plus 2x squared. I get 0. I have negative x negative x plus negative 2x, so that's negative 3x. All right, now I'm going to bring down my 3. And now I'm going to repeat one more time the same process. It's a little bit repetitive, but it's not too bad. So, how many times does x go into negative 3x? Negative 3 times. Now I'm going to do my multiplication. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. Instead of subtraction, I like to change it to addition, and then change the signs. So now, it's just an addition problem. Negative 3x plus 3x gives me 0, and 3 minus 3 will give me 0. And I am done. Because I got 0, I know that this is true. I know that 8x squared minus 2x minus 3 times x minus 1 will give me the original problem, 8x to the third minus 10x squared minus x plus 3. You can check this by using the tabular method, if you would like. There is no remainder, and thus, x squared minus 2x minus 3 is a factor. X minus 1 is a factor. They are both factors of the original dividend, and 8x to the third minus 10x squared minus x minus 3 divided by x minus 1. The polynomial 8x squared minus 2x minus 3 is called the quotient. This is the quotient.